Now, I am delighted to introduce to you, if you haven't already seen him in the Photoshop session, all the way from the US of A. Get off your iPhone, Terry. Mr. Terry White. And try and keep up that same level of enthusiasm for myself, Jonathan Ferman from the UK. Now, I just have a few slides to get through just to sort of say what's in the suite, and then we'll move on. But just before I talk to you about Design Premium, I wanted to talk to you about one of the other design suites that we have in CS5, Design Standard. Because there's actually two. There's Design Standard and Design Premium. Design Standard has the standard version of Photoshop, the Photoshop we all know and love, Illustrator, InDesign, and Acrobat, as well as a whole host of additional components like Bridge and Device Central for testing devices, and some brand new CS Live services, which we will try and show you later on. And this has, in the past, been our best-selling suite. But we think this time, Design Premium will be. Why? Because what we're finding is that more and more people don't just want to create print. This is the ultimate suite if you just create print. If you're a print designer, if you're a print professional, if you're a printer, then this is probably the suite for you. But what about when you take that print content and you want to take it out to the globe? If you want to go beyond that print run and go to a global audience, to a digital audience? Well, for those people, we have Design Premium. Now, Design Premium has the extended edition of Photoshop. What does that mean? It does things like 3D and video, but inside Photoshop. You do not need to be a 3D expert or a video expert to start doing these incredible things. Illustrator and InDesign, our great design tools. The brand new Flash Catalyst that we're going to have Terry show you after the break. It's an amazing new program that lets you create interactive content, and this is the good bit, without writing code. Whew. Flash Professional for all things multimedia, Dreamweaver for managing and editing websites, and we just updated Dreamweaver last week with a free HTML5 pack. You can get that on labs.adobe.com. It's going to let you support and create content for this emerging standard known as HTML5, which is running on all popular smartphones, and we see it as an upcoming standard. Fireworks for rapidly prototyping content, going from an image to good web-ready text and content. And finally, Acrobat, putting the whole thing together, putting everything into PDF, as well as all those components and CS Live services. Now, throughout the demo, we're going to be using InDesign. Now, before I mention that, just out of interest, how many of you are already using CS5? Show of hands, please. Oh, good few of you. CS4, CS3, CS2, CS1, Etch-a-Sketch, Paper. Okay. So, good. We're going to do most of the demo, as I said, from probably my favorite application in the suite. It's always a toss-up between that and Photoshop. InDesign CS5. How many of you have InDesign, just out of interest? Fantastic. I assume the rest of you are using Word. Is there anything else? Don't answer that. So what's InDesign? Well, InDesign CS5 is our professional layout and design tool for print, but most importantly, digital publishing. We've really tried to embrace digital publishing. You're going to see a ton of features for print capabilities, but all sorts of digital capabilities as well. Because when you start creating content for digital, it's not good enough to just have something that looks impressive. You really need to engage that reader, that digital device user, if you like. So with InDesign, we're really trying to enable you to lay out an experience, whether it be video, interactivity, something that really draws that user in. And typically, when we talk about the products, we say, okay, well, Photoshop's top 10 features are, or InDesign's top 10 features are. But really, if we just do top 10, we're doing it a disservice. It should really be about the top 30, I'd say, or more. It's just a huge release. Now, as we move on through this presentation, you're going to see some incredible slides. No, I'm not going to do any more slides. You'll be delighted to know. And you're probably looking at that last slide going, PowerPoint, great, love PowerPoint. Yeah, it works so well with the suite. And then you look at it again, you think, nice typography. PowerPoint? Typography? No, of course it's not. It's InDesign. So we have feature number 1. This is not the top feature, but it's a nice one. A brand new mode called the presentation mode. I turn that on. Ta-da! Whatever I'm working on, full screen. So now you can create presentations and deliver them in InDesign. Okay, please, no more PowerPoint. Okay, for me and everyone else in the world. All right. So most of you have CS2 or higher. A lot of people I saw on CS3, some on CS4. So you all have Bridge. How many of you are using Bridge? Not bad, about half. For the rest of you, it's free. Okay. So even with that said, why should I use Bridge? 2 major reasons. 1, it lets you view all your content. All of your Creative Suite assets you can view in Bridge. Number 2, it lets you manage your content. Think of that like Apple's iTunes or Windows Media Player. That lets me manage all my music. This lets me manage all my files. So I can apply more information known as metadata. So for example, I can take an image and I can get all the information about it. I'll just drag that preview out so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, no sniggering. Let's just move on. It's a new world. You're putting me off now. Okay, so there's images, there's the file size, there's all this good stuff. Should we just, yeah, that feels better. Okay. Now, keywords. Because even though we get all this information from the camera or the file, there's certain things it's not going to know. The client, who's in the image, potentially where it was taken. You can apply those as keywords. You can also use this from a workflow perspective. I can give it a rating, just like iTunes. Be kind if it's somebody else's work. Or, no, this is to do. And then it just gives me this little color label. Why is that useful? Well, over here in the filter panel, show me everything here that's to do. Show me everything here that's in review and to do, that's 5-star rated. Or, show me everything here that's a JPEG file or a PDF file. Great. Now, in the past, the other thing you could do, which was really nice, because remember, it's not just about images. This is about working with assets you create in the suite, like InDesign files. I could get to all the fonts used for this. I can get to all the colors used in this. Really nice. And I could get a thumbnail of the first page. Great. But what if I do multiple page documents? Don't. Then you've got enough thumbnails, you're fine. Or, the good news is, with InDesign CS5, we let you embed a thumbnail of every single page in your InDesign document. You can choose the quality to affect the file size, but just like now a PDF, I can see every single page that makes up this InDesign file without having to open it in InDesign. Really nice. Starting to like Bridge yet? Oh, okay, I've got some work to do. All right, let's keep going. Well, let's just open up this document first of all. Oh, hang on. Now here's a dialogue I'm sure you've never seen. There are some missing fonts. It uses one or more. And then the thing I really like that InDesign does, as a guy, it's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to highlight it in pink. Yeah, you're missing this one. This is what you could have won. It looks a bit like this. How about changing it to Courier or Times New Roman? No, I don't want to do that. All right, so what we've always been able to do, let's go back to it, just feel the pain one more time. Okay. When I go and package my document that I've created in InDesign, just by going File and Package, it can embed the fonts. So we thought, hang on, if we can get all those fonts, wouldn't it be great if rather than having to load those fonts into your operating system and finding the fonts folder, wherever that might be, or using a separate application that manages all my fonts, wouldn't it be better if just InDesign just opened those fonts? Yeah. So here's the same file, but you'll notice I have a folder called Document Fonts. These are all the fonts that are in my document. If it sees that folder, then when you open up the same file, no more missing fonts. It dynamically loads those fonts into the document and into InDesign. When I close this document down, I'm back. It just takes those fonts out. So you can just keep opening up those documents day in, day out. You don't have to worry about font managers or putting those fonts into the operating system. It just works. So that is just a really handy thing. But now I'm going to pass over to Terry to look at one of the big things that users have asked for ages, and that is multiple page sizes. I'm building up the tension for you, Terry.
Good job.
Multiple page sizes. Terry, please, can we have them? No. Okay, fair enough.